All right, traders, good morning. Good morning. This is Reven Wood. I go by SageFT. You're watching the live trading desk review and Rev-Up for the week ending April 3rd and for the week beginning April 6th. Let's get right into this here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the three things we do every week. We're going to start with the recap. We're going to go to the weekly topic, and then we're going to get some forward-looking analysis. Let's roll. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about my best trade that I'm finding here. Okay, I've got it all set up on the screens here, and what we have to realize is it's multifaceted, right? But it starts with finding a bottom in the market, or in context. You've found the location, now you're looking for the event, right? So what does the event look like? Well, I'm going to show you. So the event fired off on the 10 range, and then it crept into the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and we got to carry on, right? So the first thing we're looking for is, well, where's a bottom forming? Okay, so here, right? Now this is the 10 range chart, but what I want to show you is we're looking for confluence between what we see on the TradingView chart, which you can get all of the parameters for in our Discord, absolutely free over in Trader Chatter. Joey was nice enough to put them all there for us. But it starts here, where we want to make sure that when we're using our paint on NinjaTrader, right, or those of you who are following along on the stream, you gotta make sure that it goes red, white, green, red, white, red, green, white, green, green, white, red, whatever. But you have a pause in between the colors. All right, so this is what sets this off. Now watch this. Okay, so now how did we trade it, right? So here's 9:45 a.m. All right. See how this didn't shift this moving average over, but this one did. So I'm going to go long here, and this is where I'm going to start looking for longs, right? We've got a higher low, higher low, higher low. We have a beautiful yellow here, but really this is where we want to start gaining traction. This is where we want to start watching the charts. All right, and that is the time of, and it's right here, 9:45 and 39 seconds. Okay, so now let's go to the 1 minute chart. Okay, 9:46, it goes white, and then it goes green at 9:51. Okay, so on the 1 minute chart, you want to take the next long after 9:51, which actually happened to be, you could have taken the long here, I believe, or you could have waited for here. Okay, let's go to the 2 minute, and so then the 2 minute, it's giving you lots of signals here, bing, 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 signal at that time, right? So now we want to make sure that at that time there was white before green on the 2 minute chart, right? And here it is. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. Red, white, green, or green, white, green. Okay, and then the signals. Okay, remember this wave right here. Okay, you see your delta popping up. So here's the buy signals that pushes us, right? So here. Oh, I was already done trading before then. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. So here, right on the 2 minute, because it's after white on your TradingView. Okay, let's go to the 5 minute. All right, TradingView has white and then green. Let me make sure you can see it. Okay, it has white and then green. So we're looking for the next long on the 5 minute. That's on NinjaTrader. Okay, there it is. Okay, worked very, very well. All right, now let's go to the 15 minute, and you want to wait for the 15 minute to give you the full picture of what you're actually doing. Well, look how perfect it is. It shifts the VWAP up, okay, and then it continues to thrust through, right, after paint, and gives you a very, very nice run moving upwards. Now let's make sure that on the 15 minute that we're seeing confirmation that we can take that. Perfect. See how it's white here, and then it goes into whatever, it goes into whatever color, green or red. That's what we're looking for. Red, white, green. Red, white, green. Okay, so then anything after this bar. Perfect on the 15 minute. So then you get your long right here. And it worked very, very well, by the way. So that in a nutshell is how you're going to see me catching these moves. I now have confirmation on how to validate the paint on the NinjaTrader indicator. All right, now let's take a look. Let's go back and let's look at the market and what it did last week, what we were looking at, what was the expectations. Okay, for the recap, okay, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Now, what I believe is that we were going to use this as the over-under, and we were either going to break through into these yellow or white lines, or we were going to go up to this red-yellow line here. Now, what was stopping us was, of course, if we were going to go higher, what was stopping us was this low point here, which is amazingly exactly where we stopped. Okay, so now that we've done the market recap, right? If we just go to, they dipped it and then they brought it back into range. Now, when I say range, right, what I'm thinking, what I was thinking was, what do they do with this low to low ray right here? Well, they dipped well below it, smoked it, found liquidity, and brought it back up above it, all within 1 week. Okay, perfect. Now, before we get into what I think is going to happen next, which is what everybody comes for, let's talk about the weekly topic. All right, what I'm going to do now is, I'm just like every week, I'm going to read something that I wrote, and this week it's going to be talking about shifting identity too quickly. And I want to use my story of how, as a precautionary tale, as how I used to get ahead of myself, if I'm going to say that, right? And what I mean by that is I shifting my identity before my process was created. As your coach, I want to frame my cautionary story through the lens of the observer method, a principle that reveals how the tools and approaches we use to measure our progress can fundamentally shape the results we see. In trading, as in science, a skewed measuring tool can distort the data and lead us astray. Consider the famous double-slit experiment. The act of observation itself changes the outcome, reminding us that our perspectives and methods deeply influence our conclusions. Many are drawn to the excitement and the prospect of adopting a new identity as a trader, eager to break away from current jobs and fully embrace this path. But I urge you to recognize that this transition requires not only patience and discipline, but also a careful examination of the tools and metrics you use to measure your readiness and success. Early in my trading journey, I often relied on the wrong metrics, short bursts of success, without questioning whether my measuring stick was accurate. Like in the double-slit experiment, where the act of observing changes the behavior of particles, my excitement and premature decisions altered the trajectory of my trading outcomes. After a few successful trades, I'd get swept up in the thrill, deciding I was ready to go all in and quit my job, only to find myself financially strained, sometimes even broke, within a month. This cycle repeated until I realized that the real measure of progress is not fleeting wins, but the preservation of capital and the gradual development of a reliable edge. If we measure success with the wrong tool, we risk drawing the wrong conclusions and jeopardizing our future. These setbacks taught me that the foundation of a lasting trading career is financial stability and a thoughtfully chosen method for evaluating progress. You must focus on both your long-term aspirations, like achieving consistent profitability, and your immediate needs, such as covering day-to-day expenses. In the beginning, your trading business may not generate income, especially while you're developing your strategy and gathering data. That's why it's crucial to maintain external sources of income and carefully manage your finances. Making sure your measuring tools, such as milestone tracking and capital preservation, are giving you a true picture of your readiness. Just as in the double-slit experiment, the way you observe and assess your journey can shape your reality. One of the most important safeguards against impulsive decisions is to ensure your short-term cash flow needs are always met. I encourage you not to cut off your current income streams prematurely. Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job is wisdom worth following. Only consider going full-time when you have enough data, confidence in your documented trading strategy, and you've reached clear milestones in your business plan. By using the right tools to measure your progress, you protect your capital and avoid the financial stress that can cloud your judgment and lead to costly mistakes. The observer method teaches us that how we track and interpret our development matters as much as what we can achieve. Ultimately, the journey to become a trader and embrace your new identity is one that requires time, patience, and strict adherence to your plan. By preserving your capital and setting up accurate, unbiased ways to observe your progress, you increase your chances of finding your edge in the market and making a successful transition. Remember, living to fight another day means each step you take with caution, discipline, and the right measuring tools lays the groundwork for the profitable trader you aspire to become tomorrow. Like the Double-Slit Experiment, your outcomes depend not just on your actions, but on the tools and perspectives you use to evaluate them. To build on this idea, consider how your mindset, the lens through which you view your trading, also shapes your outcomes. If you approach trading with a squandering mentality, focused on fear of loss and scarcity, you may find yourself making impulsive decisions, cutting profits short, and hesitating to take well-calculated risks. This perspective can lead to anxiety-driven choices and missed opportunities, ultimately limiting your growth. In contrast, adopting an abundant mentality allows you to see setbacks as learning experiences and opportunities for growth. When you believe there are always more opportunities ahead, you're more likely to stick to your plan, manage your risk wisely, and make decisions from a place of confidence rather than desperation. Just as the observer method teaches us that our tools and perspectives shape our results, the mentality you bring to trading, whether rooted in scarcity or abundance, fundamentally influences your journey and the results you achieve. Let's move on to the forward-looking analysis. All right, I'm glad we're to this point. Let's get it going. Here we go for the week. Here we go. All right, what I think is very, very simple. It is a head and shoulders pattern or it isn't. All right. So now here's evidence that it could be, right? We have, if we go to the 4 hour, okay, it's a perfect head and shoulders form. We got to get above this here. And then you have to make sure that you watch this external liquidity right above that 6680. Now, here is where the challenge lies on the head and shoulders. This is a sword and shield pattern. This is a sword, so we're expecting the shield. How far down does the shield go? We're going to find out. What if we open down here? Okay, if we open down at 6457, what if they bounce it all the way up? Right? We don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now that we could have some bars over the next couple days on the daily chart that could make these look very, very small, as we are in war with Iran. So anything that I'm saying could be nullified by a gap to 7058, and I'm just making this up, right? Or an instant gap down to 6086, right? So now, as these lines, our mathematical lines, our Joey lines, play out, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're not saying, oh, it's going here, it's going there, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. We want to make sure that we're using our if statements, right? So right now, if we break 6655, okay, the ceiling will be 6728. All right, now if we break 6457, okay, we want to watch these white lines, which are yellow lines, excuse me, which are right around 6268 and 6078. It could get there very, very quickly. All right, those are what I'm expecting. All right, and then if we break the upside, okay, it's straight to 6957, whatever that number is. Okay, using the smaller time frames, you can go in and you can see that we do have some interest in buying, but we have a lot of liquidity above us that they have to fight. And it looks like every time we touch that liquidity, they sell it. So really, this block, 6635 to 6743, 103 is our over under. It may not ever go back in it. We could open above it. We could open blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that can happen right now. There's so many things that can happen, traders, that we need to just keep our eyes peeled and just be ready for anything, okay? But again, the major levels that we're watching, okay, go out to the daily chart. There they are right there. 6728, 6655, 6457, okay, and then your yellow line around 6269, okay, and then obviously it goes down in here into the 5900s. You can zoom in and see a fractal. You have to be able to zoom out to see the fractal as well. Okay, and they gave you the best trade there. The general market recap, of course, we saw exactly, it played out exactly how we named it in the prior video. You can go ahead and check that out. All right, we talked about shifting identity prematurely. I can't tell you how many times I did that, folks. I really can't tell you. And it stunted me 6 to 12 months every time I made the mistake, right? So don't get ahead of yourself, right? Live in the now. Live in the now. Live in the now. You're not yet the future trader you aspire to be. You are no longer the losing, weak trader you were in the past. We are living right now. But remember, your business has to have funding now to make it in the future. All right, and then the forward-looking analysis, obviously you can see on my chart where I think we could or could not go. It's basically mathematical from here. We're going to leave it in the hands of the old tweet master, if you will. And you know, and so in closing, I'd like you to, you know, first of all, hit the like button. That really helps the YouTube algorithm. Share this with your friends, right? Okay, and then turn notification bells on after you've subscribed. If you are not yet a subscriber, if you'd like to support the stream, you can become a member. You can gift memberships. That's always gratefully appreciated. Also, Monday through Friday, right around 9 a.m., we start the live stream on YouTube. You don't want to miss how we trade. The pattern that I showed you in my favorite execution of the week, you're going to see that pattern repeat. I'd like everybody to join us Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. live on YouTube. That's going to do it for me. I'll see everybody in the room. Thank you. Good morning or good night.